Hello, I'm Eric.
And I'm Melissa.
And today we're going to do our 2017 year in review.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is where we talk about games we played, collections, things we did in the gaming community.
Just summing up our year.
Just sum up the year.
2017.
Yeah. All right, so let's start with the collection.
Okay.
The collection update first.
All right.
All right. So this was a kind of a busy year for consoles, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got two.
Yes.
You want to start with which one? The smaller one or the one we got first?
We'll do the one we got first.
Okay. Chronologically.
Yes.
Do I have this backward?
No. I don't know.
What is that?
That's the Switch. Now, we don't normally buy consoles early on.
So quickly.
We're not early adopters. It's usually
right.
about a year, I would say, right?
Yeah.
On average?
Yeah, there's been a few where I've done it in under a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But this was, what, a couple months?
4 months. Yeah, 3 or 4 months.
So, I kind of was interested in it, so.
Yeah, that's kind of what pushed it.
Pushed us over the edge.
And we were going to go on a trip,
Yeah.
which we'll talk about later.
Okay.
But we were going to go on a trip. It was going to be a big, long trip. We knew a lot of people would have Switches. We thought it was a gaming thing. And so we grabbed one.
Yeah.
And so this was the new console. This one almost barely doesn't count. But it's a new piece of hardware, so we're counting it.
Yeah.
And this is what?
That's the
Super
SNES?
Nintendo. Yeah.
SNES? I don't know. How do you want to say it?
Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo Classic.
Classic.
So
Yeah.
we didn't get a Nintendo Mini
No.
when it came out. But
Too hard to find.
They produced more of these, and so we got in the line. You went day
I actually went on launch day,
Yeah.
like early in the morning.
Yep.
And they had plenty in stock, so
Yeah.
I was able to get one. And actually I got one for your brother too.
Yeah.
So
That's
this is a
cool.
nice little piece of hardware with some really great games on there.
Mm-hmm.
Many of which we already own, but it's a new piece of hardware, so we grabbed
Pretty
it.
cool. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so I want to put this over here.
All right.
Now let's move this out of the way.
Okay.
All right, so that is the hardware. Another big thing that happened this year, 2017, was I finally, after 10,000 some days, I think we said, I don't remember the exact number anymore, finally completed my Sega Master System collection with this Sonic the Hedgehog. It is not the one with the US UPC, but other than that, it is identical. This was a gift from James RetroPixel in the Cartridge Club, and it was the last US game I needed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I now have a complete US set. So that was a big deal for me, completing the Master System collection. It's the only complete collection I have.
Yes.
And it is likely the only complete collection I will ever have.
Yes.
Because I just don't care that much about collecting complete.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a big deal in the collection in 2017 also.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be hard to top.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, but as we have done every year, I want to run down a couple of basic collection statistics with my chart.
Oh.
And one thing you may notice if you compare this chart with previous year's charts, is there's a big bump in the percentage jump from 96 to 97. And that's because for the last 20 years, my spreadsheet has had inaccurate data about the Master System.
Uh-oh.
And so when I completed my collection and making a video about that, I went back and analyzed using forensic analysis, old home videos and pictures to try to determine when I got certain Master System games to tie them to Rick V Day, for example, which was a day when I got a huge collection of Master System games in 1997. So I was able to finally assign dates or estimated dates to a bunch of games, and that's why it finally shows a big jump in 97. It was an actual jump.
Okay.
They had previously been undefined, so they were just part of 96, so they didn't show up as changes from 96 to 97. 96 is when I started recording.
Okay.
So anything prior to 96 just got bundled into 96. In any case, that explains the big percentage jump. 70%.
Wow.
In 1997, my collection increased, and that was basically, I mean, at the time, I don't even know how many games I had, maybe 80 or 100 games, and we got like 80
Holy
games,
cow.
so
Yeah.
something like that. So it jumped 70%. And then the other big jump is in 2000, that still stays the same. But in terms of 2017, now we are the 4th year now where the percentage increase in the collection has gone down. And that's actually normal because the size of the collection keeps going up. And so if I get the same number of games, the percentage goes down. And in fact, that's what happened. The number of games I got in 2017 was 241, which was off 2 from what I got in 2016, which was 239. So we seem to be settling at about the 240 range. The high one year was 2013. That's when I got back into retro gaming big time. 478 games. That's that peak there in 2013 with a percentage change of 47%.
That's our first year of PRGE.
That's our first year of PRGE and a bunch of stuff and thrifting and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But since 2013, it's gone down from 478, 417, 300, 239, and then last year was 241. That might be because we went to one extra.
We did.
Exchange last year, or Expo last year. In any case, the collection now sits at 2682. We crossed the 2500 mark.
Yeah.
Sometime in 2017, and we got 241 games. So.
Wow.
So yeah, that's it. And I don't know. We're topping out on how big a collection we can do here. I think.
Maybe in 2018, maybe
it'll actually go down. You want to see a dip?
Can we get it down to 5?
What, 5 games total? No, we'll never get down to 5 games. All right, so those are the collection stats. Just, I don't know, I always like pulling that stuff up because I store everything in a spreadsheet. You got to make graphs, right?
Yes.
All right, so, but more importantly than the collection are the community, the gaming community, and what we participated in this year. So, do you want to start with the first one I've got listed here?
Sure. So, we participate in the Cartridge Club. And if you don't know what the Cartridge Club is, just go to cartridgeclub.org. And it is a collection of people who play games with each other, kind of like a book club. But they also put out all kinds of media, videos and podcasts.
Content,
and
events.
other content.
Yeah.
And so it's just this great community, actually. Yep. And they started a CC mystery box.
Yep.
So what they did was P1 started it, where he put a bunch of games that he didn't want anymore, and he thought, you know what, I think there are other collectors who want these, so he sent it out to other members, to another member of the community. Yep. And so it's been going around, and this in 2017,
early in 2017 we got it. We received it.
Yes.
Yep.
So that was pretty cool, and we did a video.
We did a video, yeah. Check it out. Check it out.
So that was kind of cool, and we've just found that it is on the East Coast now.
Yeah.
Just currently.
It was missing for a while, but now it's back. We now know where it currently is. So 2018, let's hope that mystery box keeps rolling, right? Okay, and then another thing I mentioned earlier was another expo that we went to. Now normally we go to 3 a year.
Yes.
The Northwest Classic Game Enthusiast, Swap Meet, Cowlitz, and PRGE. But this year we went to a 4th.
Yes.
Very exciting. Another expo. Why don't you tell us about it?
The Barrie Game Exchange in Barrie, Ontario?
Barrie, Ontario, yeah.
Barrie, Ontario. In Canada.
Yeah,
so
we're now International Game Expo
Woo!
attendees. That's actually kind of
that's
prestigious.
Yeah. So it was pretty exciting. So our friend from the Cartridge Club, Nintendo Hodge, puts on this great expo up in Barrie twice a year. And it just happened that we, a bunch of us started talking about, maybe we should go to this one in August. And so we did. And totally worth it. Totally worth it.
Yes. Totally worth it. So, yeah, that was fantastic. That is going to be hard to live up to, recreate, right?
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
And then later, of course, was the big local event here, which is PRGE, which was another, not quite as big in terms of the Cartridge Club, but a number of people came in. It was a great show in terms of pickups.
Yes.
But
and PRGE is always great.
Yeah.
But meeting, when you meet all those people, it's just like, wow.
Right.
It was kind of cool.
It was crazy.
It was great. It's like, I talk to this person all the time.
Yeah.
Online, and now I'm sitting next to them.
Well, there is one more big event that
Yes.
happened in 2017 in December. Was it December?
Yeah.
I think it was right in December, beginning of December. And that was the Cartridge Club live stream for charity.
Yes.
What happened there?
That was 50 hours?
50 hour to celebrate the 50 month
hours.
and 50 month
Yeah.
anniversary, whatever.
Yeah. And it was for Children's Hospital, and a bunch of clubbers again took shifts to stream for 3 or 4 hours at a time.
Yep.
So we did that. Played a game. I played a couple games for the first time. You streamed some other games.
I streamed some Master System
Yep.
stuff. You streamed some Super Nintendo stuff.
Yep. So it was a good time. We raised.
We've never streamed before.
$1,800.
$1,800, yeah.
It was amazing.
For children's,
Yeah.
children's hospitals.
That was an amazing time to watch all our friends stream, to stream ourselves for the first time,
Yeah.
and to raise that much money for such a good cause.
I think it's all still available on the Cartridge Bros Twitch channel. And recently, Frantic from Frantic Society
Yes.
has put together highlights. I'll put a link to that in this description. You can see the highlights of that stream. But that was a fantastic time. A lot of Cartridge Clubbers again, and we raised some good amount of money for the charity.
Yeah.
So that was fun. So those are the Cartridge Club events we participated in. Lots of big ones actually in 2017. With the cherry being, of course, Barry Game Exchange in August.
Yeah.
All right. We were also, I guess, I don't know if we should run down this list. I've got it here. We can run down it real quick.
Okay.
We were also invited to be on a number of podcasts for the Cartridge Club.
Cartridge Clubs have some really good podcasts.
There's a lot here.
So
yeah.
if you are looking for podcasts, whether it be gaming related or not, there are some great ones that aren't necessarily gaming related too. Check it out.
Yeah.
Check out cartridgeclub.org and you can see all the people who do podcasts. They're so good.
All right. So that's it for Cartridge Club podcast and events.
Okay.
So let's get into what everybody, or what we're really all here for, right? That's the games, right? So I think first we're going to talk about what we've picked up.
Okay. Our best
and then
pickups.
we'll go into our favorite games of 2017.
So these are like favorite pickups.
These are our favorite pickups.
Okay. Not necessarily like the best deal or whatever. Just
just the things that we enjoyed
really
getting. We added to the collection and we enjoy the most. So why don't I have more, so why don't I go first?
Okay, you go first.
All right. So I already mentioned this. I'll mention it again here. One of my favorite pickups, although it was really a gift, it wasn't a pickup, was Sonic for the Master System. That's because it completed my Sega Master System collection. So thanks again, RetroPixel. Really glad to have this in the collection and eliminate the gap.
Yeah.
In the shelves there. All right, do you want to go, or do you want me to do another one?
No, just do all yours.
All right, I'll do one more. Okay, so another one that I wanted for a long time was Tengen Tetris. I've been collecting the Tengen games, and this is sort of the most expensive of the Tengen games to get. And I finally decided I was going to bump it to the top of my list, and found it a good, nice version of it. And for a pretty reasonable price at PRGE, Rocket Sauce pointed it out to me, so I grabbed it. So really glad to have the Tengen Tetris in the collection, and help me move towards completing that Tengen set.
Helping cure your Tengenitis.
Helping cure my that was a big one. Helping cure that. All right, why don't you do one?
Want me to do one? Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'll do this one first. Okay, so I got the Magical Quest starring Mickey on the Super Nintendo. I got this from our friends, Flock of Nerds, Miles and Catherine, because I won their totally random contest from their podcast. And so when I saw them at Barry, I got to choose something, and I picked this. And this is actually a really fun game, and it was highly recommended by Miles and also Cynthia, Derek's wife from the Two Dorks.
Yeah,
so,
and that's what you streamed. You streamed playing that.
Yes, that's what I streamed playing that.
So that's a big one. You love that.
Yeah.
All right, my turn again? Okay, so I'm going to do two more again.
Yeah, okay.
I'll do another Barry one. This is E's Memories of Salsetta for the PS Vita. It turns out that I was looking for this game for a long time. It should be compatible. I don't have a Vita, but I have a PlayStation television. I believe it's compatible. I was looking for this game for a long time. There was a GameStop near me that had it. By the time I was actually ready to pull the trigger, it was gone. And we found this out on the way back from Washington, from Cowlitz. And
Yeah.
it turns out that the GameStop right near Cowlitz had one, but we were already halfway home.
Wow.
And I told this story to Cartridge Brothers P1, and he said, I'll just give you mine. Collector's Edition. Silver Anniversary Edition, which he did at Barry. And so I definitely want to thank P1 for this. It's still sealed. I can't bring myself. I will eventually open and play this, but it's currently still sealed. And I kind of want to use this actually to represent all of the things that we got from our friends at Barry. There were a number of items, and so those are some of my most cherished pickups, and including this very generous gift from P1.
Okay.
I'm going to do one more. Towards the end of the year, Black Friday, apparently Stone Age Gamer does little deals on these once a year on Black Friday, and I grabbed the Turbo EverDrive. And the reason this is one of my favorite pickups is because, two reasons. One, because you can put every TurboGrafx game on here. And two, because it can be used as the CD-ROM system card, which allowed me to, and the Super CD-ROM system card, which allows me now to play Super CD-ROM imports, including Ease 4,
yeah, I was gonna say.
which this is Ease 4, but
Yeah.
the TurboGrafx had a version of Ease 4, which is now non-canon, but I can play that. So that's nice. This actually opens up a world of Super CD games for me on the TurboGrafx.
Cool.
All right, why don't you do yours?
Okay, and then I'm gonna say that my second one is the Super Nintendo Classic that we got. I did not grow up with Super Nintendo, passed over it, and so I am not familiar with the Super Nintendo at all. And so when this was coming out, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool to get that one. So we should really try to do it, and we did. And I'm mostly excited too because it's got Super Metroid on it, which makes it easier to play. I mean, we have Super Metroid.
Yeah.
And because I've never played a Metroid game either. So Super Metroid is kind of, that might be my 2018 game of a series game that I've never played.
Okay.
That I complete.
Yeah, we should try to get you to complete Super Metroid.
Because I did, and I also streamed this when we were doing the charity stream.
Yep.
So.
All right. All right, and then I have two more. I'll do quickly. I have this, the Shmups Collective. This is a Saturn. It's a reproduction of a bunch of Japanese shoot 'em ups for the Saturn. I love the shoot 'em ups. This is a beautifully created set from a local guy. Just love this. So glad to have this. We saw him again at the swap meet recently, and he didn't have this. So I don't know if this is something he doesn't. I don't know. But I got lucky enough to get it at PRGE, and so really some great stuff on here. Really, really happy to have that. And then finally, I don't have it here. I'll put up a picture. Is my Sega Genesis Altered Beast system. The box. I got the box. Also, right at the end of PRGE.
You got a deal.
I think I got an okay deal, but I've always wanted the Sega Genesis with the Altered Beast box. That was the one that I coveted back when it was first launched. I didn't have any money, so I couldn't buy it. But I always felt that was sort of the original box.
The epitome.
Yeah. So really glad to finally have an Altered Beast box Genesis in my collection. Okay, so those are our favorite pickups. So let's go into now the actual games that we played.
Okay.
Now it turns out we spend more time buying games and curating our collection than we do playing them, so we don't have a large list here. But we do have, we're not going to rank them. We're going to do some honorable mentions, and then we're just going to do our favorite game we played of the year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have, I have one more honorable mention than you. And I'll just start with this one. This is one I mentioned already, Overwatch. I spent a lot of time playing this with the club members. Everybody, I think, kind of knows about Overwatch. This is a really fun game. It just stays in my Xbox One most of the time. Wish I had bought it digital because it gets old swapping it out all the time. But Overwatch is definitely an honorable mention as one of my favorite games of the year. Okay, why don't you go?
Okay, so I'll mention this one. This is my honorable mention. So only because I mentioned it last year in our 2016 review.
Yeah.
As my favorite game of the year.
But
I completed it in 2017, right at the beginning of 2017. So that's why I'm honorably mentioning it, because I still think about it and love this game. So.
She's a Zelda fan.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to do, so I will do, the next one is a game that became a Cartridge Club favorite off the record. It's Wolfenstein: The New Order. I believe there was a CC Extra podcast about this one. We weren't on that one, but I played this with a number of people in the club. This is a fantastic first-person shooter. Has some really nice elements to it and some really great story. Wolfenstein 2, I'm really eager to play, but I want to play Old Blood first. But that's kind of down on the list a little bit. But really enjoyed Wolfenstein: The New Order for the current generation of console. So that gets my second honorable mention.
All right. My second honorable mention is Mega Man 2. This was also a club game, and I've never played a Mega Man game before, so it was like, oh, I need to play this one too. And I played it, and I beat it, and that was...
You completed it.
I completed it. Excuse me.
We'll talk about that.
I completed it.
What'd you do? Did you play it on the... How did we play this? On the collection? Did you use save states?
I did.
On the PlayStation 4 collection with save states, yeah.
I did.
That's why I say she completed it.
I beat it. And
her rules, fine.
And so that was pretty exciting for me because one, I completed a club game, which I don't do. I only do a few of a year, and it was a Mega Man.
Mega Man, yeah. So it's actually one of my honorable mentions. Also, I had also never completed a Mega Man game. This is one that I bought when I got my first NES back in 1997. I asked a friend of mine, which Mega Man should I get, 1 or 2, and he said 2. I'm kind of kicking myself now because 1 is the one that's really valuable. Yeah. But I've had this game for a long time. I also played it on the PS4 to practice it quite a bit, but then I threw in the cartridge, played it on the NES, and I can claim that I beat this to my satisfaction on the NES without continuing, played it all the way through. So that's why it's my honorable mention, because I won an NES game, I won Mega Man 2, I won it legit by my own rules.
And a Cartridge Club game.
So that was quite, I was quite happy with that.
It was a trifecta of beating it.
Absolutely. Wow.
All right. That was for Travis.
Yeah, a number of people. Okay. All right. Now, do you want to do your game of the year, or you wanted me to go first?
I don't care.
All right. I'll go because
you just did the vendor.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So my game of the year is Portal. Again, a first playing for me. It was a Cartridge Club game, and I know this comes highly rated by a lot of people. And you had played it before.
Yeah, I played it again. Yeah.
And I am not good with like spatial. I don't know how
That's
I
fun.
say
Yeah,
it.
spatial puzzles, sure.
Spatial puzzles and just like in general, like spatial things. And so I was like, I don't know about this game. This one's going to be rough for me trying to figure out like physics, how it drops down and whatnot. Anyway, it was good. I got through it. I was pretty proud of myself for that because I thought I was going to have a lot of trouble. So
good.
That was my game.
Nice. And my game of the year is one that I had been playing for a year and didn't quite finish in 2017, but completed it very shortly after. And that is, I'm going to show the collection here, that is Final Fantasy V on the PlayStation Final Fantasy Anthology Collection. This was a gap in the Final Fantasy games. I had played 1 through 4 and 6 and 7. And so 5, I kind of was saving 5 as the last of the 16-bit. And I decided to finally get rid of that gap and close the gap so I could say I completed 1 through 7. I started it in 2016, December, and finished it in January of 2018. But I really enjoyed it. Now, a lot of people don't like the job system, but I had a lot of fun with it. I think there's a lot of interesting things about this. I was actually also reading the Final Fantasy V book that I got at PRGE, and that was talking about some very interesting things. So, really, I don't know if it's recency bias or what, but this has become, I think, I'm likely going to remember this as one of my favorite Final Fantasy games, at least of the ones that I've played. Really glad to finally have that done. Really enjoyed that game, and already thinking I won't, because I hardly ever do go back and play them. But maybe play it again. And now that I know a little more about what's going on. All right, but I got other stuff to play, so not likely to happen. Okay, so that's it.
That's our year in review.
That was our year in review for 2017. Any closing thoughts?
It was a pretty good gaming year.
Yeah, it was a fantastic gaming year. With the club, with the games that were released, with the games that we played. It was fantastic.
I would probably say the best part was meeting, like the number of club members we got to meet this year.
Yeah.
That's was pretty amazing.
I want to swap notes with Dean.
Yeah.
I want to know if we've tied or beat him on the number of Cartridge Clubbers we've met.
I think he's beat us because I think he's met a couple people in Japan. Not only Rambox, but I think there was one other person.
Okay.
He met.
Because I think he's met everybody we've met, except we haven't met Rambox, but we've met Diego.
Yeah, I know. So we're even there, but I thought he had another one.
We'll
We'll
see.
see.
Anyway, yeah, fantastic. We're now International Cartridge Club members, I guess. Travelers. We met a bunch of great people. Played a bunch of great stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
So
That ought to do it.
okay. If you enjoyed the video, like us and subscribe.